Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And the Western Province has just knocked the Cheetahs out of the 2020 Currie Cup. Heartbreak for the Cheetahs as Tim Swiel kicked a 80th minute penalty to seal the Cheetahs' fate. They are currently on 27 points and cannot catch any of the top four, which means they are officially out of the Currie Cup. Heartbreaking for a side who pretty much after being kicked out of the Pro 14 sat there and said, at the very least, use the Super Rugby Unlocked and use the Currie Cup to decide which four teams are the best sides. And look, to be fair, they gave it their best shot. They probably didn't deserve to go out like this, but the top four sides have been decided, and the Cheetahs were terrific all day. Frans Steyn, man of the match, he kicked beautifully. And look, the Western Province must be rewarded for their bravery, because they had an opportunity where they could have kicked for posts, and they decided to go for the line, and they did score. And that proved to be the difference, because if it wasn't for that try, they would have ended up on 29-29, and the Cheetahs would have still been in the competition. So if you look at the game itself, before you do, please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner there. Smash like on the video as well. Jump in the comments, let me know what you thought of the game itself. But let's look at some of the stats of the game. So 46% possession for the Cheetahs to 54 of Western Province. Both teams scoring 2 tries. Defenders beaten, just 1 by the Cheetahs, none by the Western Province. 0 clean breaks by the Cheetahs, 1 by Province itself. If you look at the defense, 35 tackles by the Cheetahs to 41 by the Western Province, and 3 turnovers, 1 to the 5 of Western Province. And look, to be fair, it was a very, very tight game where, the defense, there wasn't much in it. They really, as I said, both sides missing just 5 tackles each. You look at the set plays, lineouts lost, a bit of an issue for the Western Province, but also wasn't brilliant for the Cheetahs. The scrum battle was the most important. I think that's where the Western Province probably did win and probably got them that victory. The fact that they won 70% of their scrums to 30% of Cheetahs themselves. You look at player stats, obviously, Francois Steyn, 19 points he scored himself. He kicked brilliantly. He was so good. He was very courageous. He kept the team going. His leadership was really valuable. Couldn't get the team over the line in the end. Clayton Blommetjies and Roscoe Speckman were very good, as was Rainer Smith. That Cheetahs back 3 really did work very hard. Ruben de Haas, for me, was a bit poor. Rainer Fontaine also, almost gave away a certain try scoring opportunity. But apart from that, Jean de Rudolph carried the ball quite a lot. He was a very industrious for the Cheetahs. Carl Wagner worked very hard, and Sile had some very nice moments. But you look at the Western Province, and you've got to look at that front row. Stephen Kitsoff, Bongi Manambi, Frans Malherbe, they were immense the entire game. Bongi Manambi made 6 tackles. Johan de Toy, 7 tackles. Wilma Alnaldi made 7 tackles. So credit to him. But that was just the difference. There wasn't really much difference. It was a big scrum penalty and a very good kick from Tim Swiel right at the end. So you can't really separate the sides. You can't sit there and say, this is why the Western Province lost. They didn't won, and this is why the Cheetahs lost, exactly, because it was such a close contest. At the end of the day, it was just an arm wrestle, and you think of some decisions taken in certain places. The Western Province were brave. They went for the try, and that was what got them over the line right at the end. So credit to the Cheetahs, because a lot of them have been very good throughout the season. Andisa Sile has rivaled Marco van Staden and Dylan Richardson for one of the best number 6s in the country at the moment. Frans Steyn, the experience at inside centre, his kicking has been sublime. 60-meter kicks, knocking them over, no issue. It has been a huge part of the Cheetahs' arsenal, and now it remains to be seen, where do they go for next? Jean de Rudolph coming into the Cheetahs, he's been a huge impact. Does he stay? Obviously he'll stay for the time being, but you've now got to look at where do the Cheetahs go through from here. They've got one more match next weekend, a bit of a consolation match, and then then life after Pro 14 has to start. They need to decide where they're going, what competition they're moving to. But for a side that's always been so big in the Currie Cup, it is a bit sad to see them not make the semi-finals. But I'll tell you what, SA Rugby will be smiling after that result, because they backed, the 4 Super Rugby franchises and said those are our best sides. And to their credit, they have become the 4 best sides. They will be the sides in the semi-finals. So now it's all to play for in terms of where teams land up, because the Western Province have now gone level with the Bulls, who will play the Lions on Wednesday. Lions have got 1 game left in the competition, whereas the Western Province will take on the Sharks next weekend, while the Bulls will take on the Pumas. So Bulls looking pretty good either way to probably top the log. Lions will want to win to try and get them into second place and hope that other teams can do them a favor. So they don't have much in terms of what's in their hands. But in terms of this game, a fantastic game of rugby in Bloemfontein. Really was very even. Both sides dominating in different aspects, but just a great game of rugby. And so sad to see the Cheetahs go down like that. Big win for the Western Province, and that's the big thing. And that's, to be fair, that is them making their mark as potential champions, being able to win in a situation like that, being able to stay in the game when they're under pressure, even when they're not being able to play well, being able to keep them in the game. I mean, and what a moment for Tim Swiel, being able to slot such an important kick at such an important moment in the match. So credit to the Western Province. They deserve their victory. Cheetahs also would have deserved to win if they had gotten it. A great game of rugby. It is the end of the Cheetahs in the Currie Cup, however, and now we move on to what will happen within the semi-finals and how that's all going to line up. Make sure you keep it locked on Forever Sports. Please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you very soon.